Yeah, it seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
No, he just decides to enslave the students instead of having them kill each other. Once you complete the RPG as per requirement, Usami shows up, which is really weird once you complete the game. Usually once you complete this game, he beats him up, and you all leave. Neo Mosquito.
Stupid fool!
Son of a bitch.
Hold on a second, let me speak too!
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable!
How? What's your logic? It's gonna be AC timer.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? And that means everyone who was in the dining when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to give the irons caused the blackout.
Allow me to cut through those words. The irons are just one reason the blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct.
Agree, that's weird that she appears in the first one. Well, she never appeared in the first one. Again, I don't know anything about this game in particular. Usami was completely new to me. I know there's like a manga or something about Danganronpa. I don't know, someone said something about reading the books. I haven't, so I don't know anything about Usami. What I know about Monokuma, I know from the first game, which makes it really confusing why Monokuma's in this game, considering everything that happened in the last one. Which also has me thinking, I have a lot of fucking theories right now about this game. Let's just say I'm really confused. But yeah, I don't know why Usami would be in the first one.
The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
The air conditioners!
Thank you for not spoiling. Do you guys want my theory right now? Because my theory on this game currently is that all of this is some sort of computer simulation. That's my theory. That's the only way it all makes sense to me.
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham-Hams died around that time too!
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see! I understand! Indubitably!
It's a big word for you.
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out. So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout. Indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
You know, if Miss Sonia dies, Kaz is probably just gonna kill himself.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's the only way I see him dying.
Is she right? Such a hateful bear. You deserve to die 1,000 deaths.
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet! I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. Even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach.
Impossible. Hard.
Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys.
What?
There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stepping stone for you all. In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it, right? Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress. Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Unfortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killing. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others, isn't it better to get killed for believing in others?
Doesn't that mean... Are you saying we should all just give up and die?
Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you.
You guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you. Suspecting each other like this. There's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do this to my friends.
I don't want to do this either.
Me too. Please, take me home already.
Take me home tonight. I don't wanna let you go till you see the light.
I want to go home and eat candy. Stop it. If everyone acts like this, I'm gonna...
Everyone calm down.
We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way one friend would murder another.
Then why did Byakuya die?
Who cares? Let's just give up already. There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway. Not a single one.
That's wrong.
Thank you.
I think...
Maybe.
Did you say something?
Cause we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is.
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know. But we do have a clue about a suspicious person. I think.
I see. Then care to tell me, what's this clue you're talking about?
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They use glowing paint as a mark.
No, not that. I mean before that.
Before? Is it okay to say Nagito has the same voice as Nike? He kinda does. He kinda really does. Is she asking how that killer got... Is she asking how the killer got close to that table? Even if they had to obtain the knife by relying on the glow from the paint in order to do that, they had to get close to the table while it was still dark.
Let's try examining the situation. My hero's diagram might be useful here.
The diagram of where everyone was standing before the blackout, right? Here it is.
Wrong button. Just as I thought, this diagram is the clue. Who the killer is, and how they were able to move to the table in the dark. It's clearly shown in this diagram. First, we need to discuss how the killer was able to move to that table in the dark. The killer probably used something to help them move in the dark. Just gonna... Whoa.
Here! The killer must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
The desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
Of course, there's no way they used the desk lamp's lights. The killer actually used the weight of the desk lamp.
I can prove it with this. They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord.
This is such a flawed fucking argument. Alright, so the killer prepared the blackout, right? He knows what time the blackout's gonna be going. There's probably a clock in the room fucking somewhere, right? We didn't see it, but we also couldn't examine one of the walls. So, probably look at the clock. Knows where generally the knife is. Stands somewhere, memorizes where the table is, walks that way when the blackout happens. It's not a hard concept. Don't need the fucking power cord.
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table, then use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
There is only one person here who could have done that.
Who?
The only person here who could have possibly done it is me.
You're the only one! Nagito, it was you, wasn't it?
Me?
Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
See, now that's sounder logic.
I see! Nagito, weren't you
Can we
cleaning
also
the
mention that
dining hall all
Nagito's
morning?
name is very close to Nagi's? It's like, it's really fucking close.
If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife.
That's...
If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
It's a lot of coincidences.
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Now that you mention it, Nagito did prepare the drawing to pick who cleaned the dining hall.
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it?
I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right?
you, Nagito? You were my hero.
If that's the case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well, just admit it already!
Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either. We investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya. Nagito, say something!